When I stumbled upon Akutami-sensei's fan art for the night beyond the Tricornered window, I confidently made a post calling her a Fujoshi. To my surprise, many of the comments were quick to correct me, insisting that Gege is a Fudanshi. From that moment on, I swore to myself that one day I would make a video listing all the reasons why I believe the one-eyed cat is, in fact, a woman. I'm sorry, but it's hard to imagine a male mangaka listing yuri, shoujo, and BL authors as inspirations in a shonen series fanbook, unless they possess that I don't care what people think attitude that only a Fujoshi heart can muster. And now, at last, the time has come for me to fulfill that binding vow. Are you ready? Let's begin. Every so often, the debate about Akutami's gender resurfaces on the web, and it usually boils down to two main arguments. Gege said they went to an all-boys school and used male pronouns. Here's the full story. Kubo pointed out that Gege used gender-neutral pronouns throughout their entire conversation, and they explained their lifelong pronoun journey, from using ori in school to boku in college, and eventually watashi for professionalism. Now, to put that into perspective, imagine I use gender-neutral pronouns, and when asked why, I respond, because I use the boys' bathroom, my license says male, and I've always used he, him on forms. Sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? If someone gave me that answer, I'd assume they were either subtly hinting at something they are trying to hide, or maybe just a little confused.
Play the beautiful game, bro? Brothers? Brethren?
This cat is impressively sneaky when it comes to avoiding gendered pronouns. This transitions into the next point. Many people cite the panel of Yuji introducing himself as the younger brother as proof, but this is taken out of context. In the previous panel, Gege hands him a script and instructs him to play their role. Gege did something similar in a short with Nobara, where they narrated the story of their first jump party. With the full context, this argument feels far less convincing to me. The 2019 Jump Festa short is one of the very few ones where Gege speaks as themselves, and the translation reads, "I am a mangaka that likes to speak to her characters." Unfortunately, the more accurate translation is closer to, "I am a mangaka that likes to speak with my characters." So not super strong neither. Last, there's the 2021 Mando Kobayashi interview where some believe Gege appeared dressed as Mekamaru, but if you watch the full clip, it's clear that they weren't actually present. Instead, it features a puppet with Gege's spokesperson using the same voice throughout. The clip even includes a demonstration of how the puppet works. The pattern is that mangakas are more likely to obscure their gender when it differs from the target demographic of their work. Most male mangaka don't typically hide their gender, they will let you know they are a guy one way or another. Another case is the Demon Slayer mangaka, who initially used a male pen name and claimed to be taking over for her brother, before quietly switching to the feminine version midway through serialization. Similarly, the mangaka of Fullmetal Alchemist was widely believed to be a man for years, simply because they never addressed the topic. And this isn't just a female mangaka issue. I recently read about a male BL writer. As you may know, BL, boys love, is typically gay romance written by women for women, while similar works created by men are referred to as bara, from what I understand. It was a significant moment for him to disclose his gender and identity after many years. As I've mentioned before, when mangakas go to great lengths to keep their gender hidden, it's often because their gender doesn't align with the expectations of their target demographic. This isn't to say you can't succeed otherwise, but the reality is, if withholding that information means selling more copies and reaching a wider audience, many would make that choice. It's a practical decision, not necessarily one of deceit. That brings us back to Gege Akutami. At the end of their debut work, number 9, back in 2016, they drew themselves as a woman in the author introduction. Many argue that this was a prank aimed at their editor, who had supposedly been pressuring them to draw larger breasts. However, Gege never stated it was a joke. In fact, their depiction of themselves wearing the one-eyed cat costume and their statement about feeling a little uncomfortable taking off their costume suggests something more personal. My second reason why is the Ken Akamatsu incident. Awa Mizuno, better known by his real name, Ken Akamatsu, a renowned mangaka, executive director of the Japan Cartoonist Association and now a politician, caused quite a stir with his remarks. During a campaign Q&A, Akamatsu stated, "The best-selling creators in Jump are mostly women. Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen are no exception." To call it a controversy would be an understatement. Many believed his comments might jeopardize his election chances, especially given the backlash. When someone in a position of authority makes such a claim, it's not just speculation, it's a breach of privacy and a violation of the trust and professionalism that the manga industry upholds. As Akamatsu stated, almost half of the authors at Shonen Jump are women. And how many of those do you know? It's no secret that the manga industry and its editors often pressure female mangakas to keep their gender hidden. After all, if the manga succeeds, it's not just the creator who benefits, the editor, the assistants, and the entire production team share in that success. To me, one of the most telling signs about Gege's gender lies in the mangaka Akutami cites as inspirations, so buckle up because we're diving into this one. In the fanbook, Akutami wrote, "I love reading stories by Tomoko and Shimura-sensei, packed with episodes that only women would know. If you've read it, you'll notice it delves deeply into women's issues. The first 7 cases the protagonists handle all involve female clients dealing with curses, a woman in a hotel room, low self-esteem, a woman struggling to fit in after the common friend got married, and hate crimes targeting women." While guys might enjoy these stories, the kind of connection required to make a series like this, the foundation of your creative inspiration for 4 years, goes far beyond a simple, "I like this book." This is, "I identify with this book" territory, a berserk-level connection. It's similar to how the creators of Dark Souls drew from Miura's work, where the influence seeps into every aspect of the story, shaping its core essence. Then there's Takako Shimura. The first 2 are Yuri titles, with Even Though We're Adults exploring a married woman falling for a lady she meets at a bar, and Sweet Blue Flowers delving into sapphic undertones. In the same Q&A, Akutami also mentioned Go Hiromi Go, a shoujo manga they read as a child and revisited as an adult, even pointing out that Nobara is the spitting image of the titular character. Another highly unusual influence is Kanai Minato, often referred to as the Queen of Yamisu, a genre centered on unsettling truths. Her work is deeply popular with women. Minato's works often feature female narrators and delve into women's issues with titles such as Motherhood, Girls, and Confessions. The special edition cover for Confessions, designed by Akutami, is a fascinating connection. There are even clear references to her storytelling style in moments like the entire Tsumiki and Megumi flashback. This level of engagement with shoujo and narratives centered on feminine perspectives is highly unusual for male shonen mangaka. If you're a guy who's read Land of the Lustrous or any of the works I've mentioned for reasons unrelated to Akutami, let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. Last but not least, let's talk about the way Gege writes. The portrayal of numerous female characters with a strong Yankee temperament. Women tend to have a lot more to say about women's role in society, so the commentary goes beyond a single character's backstory. Moreover, take 3 main characters written by men and 3 written by women. Characters written by women often have a nurturing side or display traits traditionally associated with femininity, while male writers tend to lean into cool, nonchalant, and overtly masculine characteristics of strength. No matter how skilled a writer is, there's always a bit of self-insertion in their characters, especially the protagonist, who often serves as the key to the story's core message. It's an unavoidable part of the creative process. And let's be honest, Gojo Satoru is practically the blueprint for the female gaze, and he is far from the only one. Nanami and Geto are just as capable of holding women's attention. In conclusion, I personally feel most comfortable referring to Gege as they, respecting the gender neutrality they've chosen for themselves. However, I often see people correcting others who believe Gege might be a woman, and I wanted to make this video to explain why I think those reasons are valid. That said, I will continue to use gender-neutral pronouns because it feels right to me. Of course, Gege could be trans too, but at the end of the day, we can only speculate. Based on all my evidence, my guess leans towards the cat being a woman, but you are entitled to believe what you want. Whether Gege is a woman, a man, or neither, Jujutsu Kaisen stands as a testament to their brilliance and creativity. That's it, you guys. I just wanted to take a moment to say hello and thank you. This video differs from my usual content, but I want to try to upload videos weekly. The The JDK ones take a lot of time because they're research intensive and I tend to take many detours when reading. That, and I'm also balancing my real world job and the study, so the timeframes tend to be long and unpredictable at times. But this year I will exercise my consistency and discipline muscles by setting nice and challenging goals. So to make my weekly upload goal more manageable, I plan to alternate between research-heavy videos and lighter discussions like this every other week. Let's have an awesome 2025. And as always, please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed this video. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.